Hello, it is Thursday, January 13th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday puzzle, maybe some kind of tricky theme today. We'll have to see, that's common enough. But first, I would like to thank a few people who have brought you today's edition of the Daily Solve. Those are Joseph Schwalbach, Overfull Hitbox, and as always, the inestimable Hood Monster. Thank you to the three of them, all benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. If you'd like to join their ranks and get your hands on the exclusive Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can do that at patreon.com/dailysolve. But backing at any level of the Patreon campaign gets you access to all of the months of bonus solves, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And I did finally this week put up that second New York Times acrostic puzzles. We've had two of those this month in January, if you're interested in coming to grips with the acrostic, a little bit different than the crossword. Looking forward to solving more of those. Anyway, let's discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle. Had a few comments about that. Mark Owens explained that the McDouble, the hamburger with which I was unfamiliar, referenced in yesterday's puzzle, replaced the double cheeseburger on the McDonald's dollar menu. The difference, McDouble only has one piece of cheese as opposed to two. The magic of branding. Kathy Swope points out that being laid off is not the same as being fired in the U.S. Laid off implies a potential recall to a job in the future, whereas employees who are laid off can still collect unemployment insurance, while fired employees typically can't. And Kathy points out that she likes the Wordle at the end of the Daily Solve. We'll see if I run out of steam on doing the Wordle as the as the YouTube short, and perhaps it will return to the end of the Daily Solve. Not sure yet. There was a bit of discussion about seeding in tournaments. I'm not going to read all of it, but Bradley and Brian D. both spoke at length. Bradley says seeding in a bracket is done to ensure that the best teams in a tournament don't face each other in early rounds. The team with the best record will be a 1 seed, while the team that barely made the tournament will be 16 seeds. 1 seeds always play 16 seeds in the first round, seconds play 15s, and so on. Anyway, more explanation from Bradley and Brian D. If you're very unlikely to need that explanation as I do, but if you do, there it is. And finally, this was quite an observation. I'm impressed that Lyle Entwistle observed that the theme today, yesterday's puzzle, gets bonus points for using all the digits exactly 1 time each. He didn't have to, but he did. Aronson has a new fan. Look at that. So yesterday's theme, if you recall, had a numerical element that confounded me at first, and eventually we learned that we're rhyming with those numbers. But apparently we used all the digits from 0 to 9 1 time in that theme. I certainly did not notice that, and I'm impressed that someone else did, and also impressed at the constructor for that adds a huge constraint to the construction of that crossword, because you have to rhyme answers with every single individual digit exactly once. Well done. And thanks, Lyle, for observing that. Anyway, let's get on to today's puzzle. This is a Thursday crossword. It's been constructed by Karen Laurie. Karen is a debut New York Times crossword constructor, and a quick search suggests relatively new to crossword construction in general. Karen is a television and game show writer, interestingly enough. So perhaps that game show background will come in handy here. And again, it's a Thursday puzzle, so we might have some kind of intricate theme. Who knows? Only way to find out is to get started by pressing OK, which I've just done. Urgent order. Could be ASAP, or it could be stat. Each of those means do this thing as quickly as possible, ASAP. And also each one has an A in the third position. So does that help with flurry? I don't know. Flurry could be an ado, but not really over the moon about that. So let's check some more crosses. Year in Brazil. Would it be an año? Be Portuguese? Is that the same? How similar is that to Spanish in this particular case? That would make ASAP plausible. So let's keep looking at some crosses. Chimichurri ingredient. Chimichurri is sort of a little... Well, now I'm getting... I think I'm mixing up two different things, and I can't remember which a chimichurri is. Is a chimichurri the little sort of thin little wrap, or is that the green sauce? Sorry, this is an embarrassing confusion. I can't remember. What about word before case or sack? Sad case or a sad sack, which sort of mean the same thing. What about this? A striped polecat's defense. I think in this case, the striped polecat refers to a skunk, so it'd be the skunk's odor, presumably. Oh, parsley. I think chimichurri is the sauce. A chimichanga, I think, was what I was thinking of. The little wrap. Okay. So there we go. We have parsley, odor, ASAP. What was we looked at this? Flurry. Maybe it is a do. And what is this? Mas que nada, classic Brazilian song from the 1960s. Ah, okay. What, more than nothing, perhaps? And here we have, so interesting, two Brazil-related clues crossing one another. This looks all basically correct to me, at least pretty plausible. Okay, let's keep looking around. Important warning before you answer. Here we've found our theme. Important warning before you answer 32, 40, and 52 across. Important warning. And 32 across is a 2003 Pixar animated adventure. 40 is a 2004 Quentin Tarantino martial arts film. Kill Bill? And 52 is a 1993 Warner Brothers family drama. So they all are films. Pixar animated adventure. Well, it's not one of the Toy Stories. It's... Now I'm going to go blank when I try and imagine these. I don't know. Lilo and Stitch, was that Pixar? What else is there? I have no idea. I'm sorry. A Bug's Life? None of these fit at all. I'll have to keep looking around. Ideal informally. I don't know. The Acme or Tops, maybe? Gallagher of Rock's Oasis. Could be Liam or Noel, right? Hope I'm not misremembering that. Interruption. Let's just go back and start. Let's return to solving the puzzle sequentially. Alternatives to dogs. Well, the obvious answer is cats, but that obviously doesn't fit. So let's keep looking for now. Winter hours in Seattle would be Pacific Standard Time. Here's at least something I know. A kind of fly, a tsetse fly, maybe. And quizzical cries could be A's, maybe? A? Standing like Wonder Woman, say. In what way does Wonder Woman particularly stand? I'm not sure. And they're constantly lapped. Shores could be lapped by waves. That's something. The sweetest joy, the wildest blank is love. Wonder if one of these is incorrect. I don't see what this is. And standing like Wonder Woman, say. Could the say mean that Wonder Woman's just an example and we mean standing like any superhero? I still don't really know what that's implying. Skyline features. Oh, this is interesting. We have skyline features and skyline feature. So this could mean skyline meaning buildings on a city skyline, but it could also mean, I think there was maybe a automobile model, a skyline. Maybe I'm thinking of the Fairlane. I'm not sure. Maneuvered for could be angled for a position, for instance. Subject line abbreviation. Attention, maybe? Yeah, that looks right. Start to profit could be non-profit, as in a non-profit organization. And singer with the 2006 #1 album, This Is What the Truth Feels Like. I don't know. What about this? Skyline feature, right. And this, here's the 2003 Pixar animated adventure. Could it start with the, T-H-E? Home of New York City's Public Theater. Is that NoHo? And a skyline feature. Ideal informally. And chicks say, oh, maybe a brood of offspring, chicks, to a brood of chicks to a chicken. Alternatives to dogs. Alternative to dogs could end in S, certainly. Some card readers could be seers, people who are going to read your fortune, say. Certain bite risk. I don't know, tetanus or rabies. Rabies, there we go. And a blank pan, a kitchen utensil, an omelet pan, maybe? And actor Rami Malek is a current actor. And blank Tesfaye, a.k.a. The Weeknd. I don't know the given name of The Weeknd, the singer. Flooring option could be tile. You could tile your floor. And alternatives to dogs is brats. Okay, I was wondering if this was referring to hot dogs, but for some reason I couldn't think of what the example would be. So here we're looking for another kind of sausage other than a hot dog, and in this case, bratwurst. And just as dogs is abbreviated from hot dogs, so is brats from bratwurst, or contracted maybe more accurately. Okay, so important warning before you answer. So presumably, I mean, this probably means, I didn't mention this earlier because I didn't really have any ideas, and I still don't, but I suspect that this clue, important warning before you answer 3240 and 52 across, suggests that these answers are maybe not going to be actually directly, they're not going to be direct references to these particular, this isn't going to be literally a 2003 Pixar animated adventure. I'm guessing that when we know what this answer is, it's going to change our understanding of how to, of some way to tweak or adjust these film names in order to get the correct answer, but I don't know what it is. So how do you spell Rami Malek's name? How do these letters interact? So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, so important warning, spoiler alert. I don't know how that works. We're probably going to be removing letters or something, or doing, I don't know. We're going to be doing something so that if you were to say spoiler alert, it would make it logical that this answer is going to be a plausible fill for 2003 Pixar animated adventure, but I can't yet imagine what that is. Okay, jump scares in horror movies. Starts maybe, as in you started when a jump scare occurred? That doesn't really seem correct. Gallagher of... Oh, here we go. So this probably is Liam Gallagher. And here we have skyline features. Right. So spires at the top of skyscrapers. There we go. And an interruption could be a pause or a lapse. I see. Jump scares in horror movies. A staple, maybe. I see. So jump scares are a staple of horror films. And so an interruption is indeed a lapse in this case. And standing like Wonder Woman, say. Sorry, I don't know why I'm not seeing this word. That's very frustrating. Oh, right. I still might have something wrong here, actually. Although these are all coming in correctly. So what am I not seeing with the sweetest joy? The wildest doe, perhaps? Is it an animal metaphor? Doesn't really look right here. I don't know. They're constantly lapped. Quizzical cries. Is there anything else that could be? Maybe I'll just delete these just to remind myself that something's going on up there. I need more crosses. Okay. 2003 Pixar animated adventure. I'm not sure. Pad, so to speak. And what was this? Top suit. Could be the CEO, the top executive at a company, the chief executive officer. Apt rhyme for Rubik. Could be cubic, I suppose, because Rubik's cube is probably I don't know. It's the only usage of Rubik of which I'm aware. The Blank Holmes Mysteries, young adult series about a 14-year-old detective. I think I've seen this advertised. Maybe Enola Holmes sounds familiar to me. And not as expected would be odder, I suppose. More odd, more, less usual, not as expected. So what was this? A low island? Oh, no. Maybe oddly. A low island would be a K, not a car. So glad I checked the crosses on that. Not as expected. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe I have that. Maybe I'm on the wrong track entirely. What about this? Pad, so to speak. And what is... Oh, this is another film. Okay. Formerly known as... could be né as in born, and from the French for born. So you'll often see that before someone's, I don't know, premarital name, for instance, or someone's given name instead of their stage name. Pad, so to speak. Oh, I see, your abode. So pad as in slang term for your dwelling, where you live, your place. So maybe not as expected is oddly. It's so interesting. I was expecting the not as to be a comparative. So odder. This is odder than that. This is not as expected as that. But you could also say, well, that was not as expected. That was oddly, I suppose. Well, I don't know. I'm still going to leave it blank. Kind of branch depicted on German euro coins. Oh, interesting. I have a few German euro coins from a trip to Germany, but I'm not sure. An oak, maybe? Pixar animated adventure. They go... Oh, I see. So this is going... Oh, I see. Sorry, this is more straightforward than I was going to make it, I think. This is going to be a spoiler for the film in question. So whatever the 2003 Pixar animated adventure is, which is probably Toy Story or Toy Story 2 or 3, I don't even know, or A Bug's Life, maybe. I'm trying to think of other Pixar movies that came out around that time. Anyway, this will be a spoiler for that film, I guess. So it looks like it starts with they, doesn't it? What is this? Singer, right, I'm not sure. And skyline feature. Tower. Of course, there we go. Skyscraper, tower. And an ideal informally. Ideal informally. Perf for perfect? Is that a thing people say? Perf? Maybe. I'm not sure. They found Nemo. Ah, Finding Nemo. I couldn't think of that one. There we go. Spoiler alert. They found Nemo. So these will be pretty self-evident spoilers, I suppose, in the sense that the name of the film is Finding Nemo. You can probably assume they're going to find Nemo. So this really does look like oddly. I don't know why I'm so resistant to that, but I can't think of what else it would be at this point. Oh, so indeed, the Quentin Tarantino martial arts film from 2004 will be Kill Bill, and the spoiler will be She Killed Bill, or She Kills Bill, maybe. No, that doesn't fit. Killed Bill. She Killed Bill. There we go. Political correspondent Mistel. I have no idea. This must be a person. And here we have Psy. And alas. So Psy is in brackets because Psy this isn't saying, you would say the word Psy, and it's not saying this is a synonym of Psy. It's meaning this is something you would say in the case of the non-verbal, non-verbal Psy sound. And in this case, the word alas. So pirate's domain, I guess the sea. I don't know. And Mistel could be Ella or Ellie or El. Could be Elmo, but that seems a lot less likely. Birthplace of Pythagoras. Oh, where was Pythagoras born? I'm not sure offhand. Anachronistic verb in the age of smartphones. I'm not sure. And a lotion alternative. Oh, and then what was this again? Standing like Wonder Woman, say. Oh, power pose? Power something? Why do I not see what this is? I'm sorry. I feel very foolish. All right, quizzical cries. So it wasn't EH. O's, I guess? Oh, okay. The sweetest joy, the wildest woe is love. All right. Sorry. Really probably should have been able to get at that one. So this word was incorrect, but this one I had the right crosses. So should have gotten that, didn't. The sweetest joy, the wildest woe is love. Pearl Bailey. Okay. Standing like Wonder Woman, say power. I'm very sorry about this lapse. Okay. Anachronistic verb, right. Birthplace of Pythagoras. Let's just keep going. Suburb about 20 miles west-northwest of Boston. Wow, that's pretty specific. What about this? Gwen O, singer with the 2016 #1 album, This Is What the Truth Feels Like. Gwen Stefani, I guess. Not familiar with that album, but that sounds pretty plausible. And rhyme, whore, like frost. I think that probably is. And cause to be admired, esteem, or extol, or petitions. Do I have HOAR? Is that correct? I think it is, but I'm going to delete it just in case. I don't want to throw myself off the scent. And petitions probably ends with an S, upside down L on a calculator, a 7, I suppose. And striped yellow balls in pool. Oh, I don't remember all of these, but this looks like 9s, doesn't it? Goddess in the Hindu pantheon. Ravi. Small bird with a loud song. Not sure offhand. Man for one. The Isle of Man, this might refer to. And makes merry. Revels, I suppose. Oh, a wren, I think, is a small bird with a loud song. And what about this? Disinclined, a verse. And here we have approve, could be to bless. There we go. And blank, we don't need no stinking blanks. Badges, I think. What film? I don't remember what film that is. It's one of the Sergio Leone westerns. I can't remember. Sergio Leone. Power posing. Oh. Right. For some reason, I don't know why. I was making quite a classic error here, which was I was very much focused on the wrong part of speech. I, for some reason, was really expecting this to be an adjective. I don't know why. Like power posed, for instance, or something like that. But no, it's standing like Wonder Woman. It's the verb, standing like her, power posing. I mean, an adjective still would fit here grammatically, but I was just I was just completely going down the wrong track and was unable to, and as is often the case when that happens, you don't even realize you're doing it. So it's not as though you're insisting upon it. You just don't even realize that there's an alternative that you should be considering. Boy, that was silly. Okay. So this could be L or Eli. Birthplace of Pythagoras. Oh, it could be Eli or Ely. Ionia? Was Pythagoras born in Ionia? Anachronistic verb in the age of smartphones. Oh yeah, maybe, because dial would be an anachronistic verb. Dial a phone number, for instance. And a lotion alternative. Body something. Body wax? I don't know. Body what? Gel? Seems more likely than wax, doesn't it? Texas is the largest U.S. producer of these. Well, again, it'll be plural. Exhaust could be to sap, as in to sort of sap your will, to exhaust your will. Thought could be an idea. And what is this? A stretch in logic could be a leap. Oh, body oil. There we go. Lotion alternative body oil. Right. Okay. More likely than either wax or gel. And ending with gator or hater. Haterade and Gatorade. I think haterade, strangely enough, might have actually been an answer in the crossword recently. And rooibos, e.g., is a tea. Rooibos is a red tea. I like rooibos. It's a non-caffeinated red tea. Investment initials. Could be IRA for individual retirement account, which is a U.S. U.S. sort of tax advantaged investment instrument. Hullabaloo could be a din, a big noise. Acoustics, for one, it could be the science of acoustics, sound. Green bugs could be aphids. The Warner Brothers family drama, He Freed Willy. So for the film Free Willy, spoiler alert, he freed Willy. So these are all, I was worried these were going to be sort of legitimate spoilers, but they've been constructed pretty cleverly to just be the self-evident thing that happens, that is clearly predicted by the film's title. Okay, so what is this? One of a character class in Dungeons and Dragons. A cleric? Like a member of the cloth, a churchman or woman. Petitions, pleads, and suburb about 20 miles west-northwest of Boston would be, I don't know, Acton looks right? Is that a suburb of Boston? All right, so that does actually confirm whore. So I think this does refer to Frost. And then cause to be, I see. Cause to be admired is to endear. So to endear somebody to somebody else, to cause them to be admired. And there we have it, Thursday puzzle. This was, I think, a very fun theme. Once we understood the spoiler alert conceit. Actually, I suppose it did still take me a while after that. I suppose it was after getting the first example of the spoiler and seeing that it was this incredibly self-referential, kind of inevitable description of a plot event. That made the other ones much, much easier once I saw a few crosses for them. So that was a fun theme. And the puzzle in general, I would say, was putting up a sort of reasonable amount of resistance throughout. There weren't really any points in this puzzle, I think, when I was just absolutely flying through it. I wasn't ever just completely marching from one clue to the next, filling answers nonstop. But I didn't get really significantly blocked up for a huge period of time. It was just a fair amount of resistance throughout. And that seems fair enough for where we are in the week. Thursday, this is the third most difficult puzzle, I suppose, in terms of the standard Monday to Saturday difficulty ranking, leaving Sunday out of it. So that I think that worked quite well. And a fun theme that intimidated me a bit initially because I couldn't think of what these films were going to be. And then even after I saw spoiler alert, I still wasn't quite sure how to tackle it. But ultimately, it turned out to be a relatively straightforward and fun theme that was the sort of theme that helps you solve it once you understand what's going on, rather than the one that you can only get in retrospect after it's been solved. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed that puzzle. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please do subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. And you'll see these videos as they go up each day. And I guess you can also watch my 1 minute or less Wordle videos that I've been putting up as an experiment to try and play around with the YouTube Shorts format, which is something that YouTube has been encouraging recently for whatever reason. So I'm solving the Wordle in there, and if you can see those on my channel as well. The third one will go up today at some point. And if you'd like to directly support this channel, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can do that at the Patreon campaign, patreon.com/dailysolve. And in addition to the bonus video solves, you can get access to an additional channel in the Discord chat server. But of course, anybody is free to join the Discord chat server, regardless of Patreon status. It's just that with the Patreon, you get that additional channel. But if you're interested in the Discord, either way, there's a link to that as well as the Patreon in the description field underneath the video. Anyway, that's it, I suppose, for today's Daily Solve. I hope you'll be back tomorrow for the Friday, the first themeless puzzle of the week, and a bit of a step up in difficulty. So we'll see how we fare with that one. Do come back for that. But until then, have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.